Have you ever felt like your spiritual growth is being hindered, despite your best efforts? Do you find yourself drained, confused, or constantly facing obstacles on your path? The truth is, the people we surround ourselves with can have a profound impact on our spiritual journey. They can either lift us up and support our growth, or drag us down and hold us back. In this video, we'll explore 6 types of toxic individuals that may be sabotaging your spiritual progress without you even realizing it. First on our list is the naysayer. This is the person who constantly discourages and dismisses your spiritual beliefs and practices. They may say things like, "That's just a bunch of nonsense," or "You're wasting your time with all that spiritual stuff." Their negativity and skepticism can breed self-doubt and make it difficult for you to maintain faith in your chosen path. It's important to recognize that the naysayer's opinions are a reflection of their own limited beliefs and experiences, not a true assessment of your spiritual journey. They may be coming from a place of fear, ignorance, or even jealousy as they see you growing and evolving in ways they have yet to experience themselves. To protect your spiritual well-being from the naysayer's influence, it's crucial to set clear boundaries and limit your exposure to their pessimism. This doesn't necessarily mean cutting them out of your life entirely, but rather being mindful of how much time and energy you allow them to occupy in your space. When interacting with a naysayer, try to approach the situation with compassion and understanding, knowing that their negativity stems from their own unhealed wounds and limiting beliefs. However, don't feel obligated to constantly defend or explain your spiritual choices to them. Your path is your own, and you don't need anyone else's validation to continue pursuing what resonates with your soul. Instead, surround yourself with individuals who support and encourage your spiritual growth. Seek out like-minded communities, whether online or in person, where you can share your experiences, ask questions, and receive guidance from those who are further along on their own journeys. By cultivating a network of positive influences, you'll find it easier to maintain your faith and motivation, even in the face of the naysayer's doubts. Next, we have the energy vampire. This is the person who consistently drains your emotional and spiritual energy, leaving you feeling exhausted and depleted after every interaction. They may constantly seek your attention and validation, monopolizing your time with their problems and complaints, without ever offering any genuine support or encouragement in return. Energy vampires often have a victim mentality, always focusing on the negative aspects of their lives and rarely taking responsibility for their own happiness or growth. They may call you at odd hours, expecting you to drop everything to listen to their latest drama, or consistently turn conversations back to themselves and their own needs. Dealing with an energy vampire can be particularly challenging for empaths and highly sensitive individuals who naturally absorb the emotions and energies of those around them. You may find yourself feeling drained, anxious, or even physically ill after spending time with an energy vampire, as their negative energy can linger long after the interaction has ended. To protect yourself from the energy vampire's influence, it's essential to learn how to recognize the signs and set firm boundaries around your time and energy. This may involve limiting the amount of time you spend with them, being selective about the topics you discuss, or even gently but firmly ending conversations when you feel your energy being drained. It's also important to prioritize your own self-care and energy management practices, such as meditation, grounding exercises, or spending time in nature, to help you recharge and release any negative energy you may have absorbed. Remember, you are not responsible for fixing or saving the energy vampire, and it's not selfish to prioritize your own well-being. The spiritual narcissist is perhaps one of the most insidious types of toxic individuals you may encounter on your spiritual path. This is the person who believes they have all the answers and that their way is the only true path to enlightenment. They may present themselves as a guru or spiritual authority figure, but their true motive is often to feed their own ego and need for control. The spiritual narcissist will often belittle your beliefs and experiences, making you question your own intuition and connection to the divine. They may use spiritual jargon and concepts to manipulate and gaslight you, twisting teachings to suit their own agenda and maintain their position of power. Interacting with a spiritual narcissist can be deeply confusing and disorienting, as they can be charming and charismatic on the surface, drawing you in with their apparent wisdom and insight. However, over time you may start to notice inconsistencies in their behavior and teachings, or feel a growing sense of unease in their presence. To protect yourself from the spiritual narcissist's influence, it's crucial to trust in your own spiritual discernment and intuition. No true spiritual teacher will ever claim to have all the answers or demand unquestioning loyalty from their students. They will encourage you to think for yourself, ask questions, and explore your own unique path to truth. If you find yourself in the presence of a spiritual narcissist, it's best to disengage from their ego-driven debates and power struggles. Surround yourself with authentic, humble spiritual mentors who empower you to trust your own inner wisdom and guidance. Remember, your spiritual journey is your own, and no one else can dictate what is right or true for you. The perpetual victim is another type of toxic individual that can hinder your spiritual growth. This is the person who constantly blames external factors for their own spiritual stagnation, refusing to take responsibility for their own healing and evolution. They may attribute their lack of progress to past traumas, difficult life circumstances, or even the actions of others, always finding reasons to avoid doing the deep inner work required for true transformation. The perpetual victim may frequently seek your sympathy and validation, but rarely take any concrete steps to improve their situation. While it's important to have compassion for the struggles and challenges others face, constantly engaging with the perpetual victim's helplessness and victimhood can be draining and disempowering. You may find yourself feeling weighed down by their stories and complaints, or even start to doubt your own ability to create positive change in your life. To maintain your own spiritual equilibrium in the face of the perpetual victim's influence, it's essential to set healthy boundaries around your interactions and emotional involvement. Offer your support and encouragement, but also gently remind them of their own inner strength and capacity for growth. Encourage the perpetual victim to take small, manageable steps towards their goals, celebrating their progress and helping them build momentum. However, be mindful not to take on the role of savior or enabler, as this can ultimately perpetuate their victim mentality and hinder their own empowerment. Remember, each person's spiritual journey is their own responsibility, and while we can offer guidance and support, we cannot walk the path for them. By maintaining your own spiritual practice and leading by example, you can inspire the perpetual victim to take ownership of their own growth and healing. The spiritual materialist is a type of toxic individual who focuses solely on the superficial aspects of spirituality, such as collecting crystals, reading tarot cards, or attending trendy workshops, while neglecting the deeper work of self-reflection, compassion, and inner transformation. They may have an impressive collection of spiritual tools and accessories, but lack the genuine commitment to applying the teachings and practices to their daily lives. The spiritual materialist may also be prone to spiritual bypassing, using their spiritual knowledge and experiences as a way to avoid facing their own shadows and challenges. While there is nothing inherently wrong with enjoying the material aspects of spirituality, such as creating beautiful altars or wearing meaningful jewelry, it's important to remember that these are simply tools and symbols of a deeper truth. True spirituality comes from within, not from external objects or experiences. Interacting with a spiritual materialist can be frustrating and disheartening, as their focus on the superficial can make spirituality feel shallow and meaningless. You may find yourself questioning the authenticity of your own practice, or feeling pressure to keep up with the latest spiritual trends and fashions. To maintain your own spiritual integrity in the face of the spiritual materialist's influence, it's essential to stay grounded in your own values and intentions. Remember that your spiritual journey is about your own inner growth and connection to the divine, not about impressing others or adhering to external expectations. When engaging with the spiritual materialist, try to gently redirect conversations towards the deeper aspects of spirituality, such as self-awareness, compassion, and service to others. Share your own experiences of how your practice has transformed your life and relationships, and encourage them to explore the more substantive elements of their own journey. Ultimately, the spiritual materialist's path is their own, and it's not your responsibility to change or fix them. By staying true to your own authentic practice and leading by example, you can inspire others to look beyond the surface and discover the true essence of spirituality. Finally, we have the spiritual bypasser. This is the person who uses spirituality as an escape from facing their own shadows, traumas, and challenges. They may speak in lofty, abstract terms about love, light, and positivity, but avoid engaging with the more difficult and uncomfortable aspects of the human experience. The spiritual bypasser may use spiritual concepts and practices as a way to bypass their own emotions, avoiding difficult conversations or conflicts under the guise of maintaining good vibes or high vibrations. They may also judge or dismiss others who are struggling, seeing their challenges as a sign of spiritual weakness or lack of enlightenment. While it's important to cultivate a positive and optimistic outlook on life, true spiritual growth requires a willingness to face and integrate our shadows, wounds, and fears. By avoiding these aspects of ourselves, we limit our own capacity for healing, compassion, and authentic connection with others. Interacting with a spiritual bypasser can be challenging, as their avoidance of difficult topics and emotions can create a sense of superficiality and disconnection in your interactions. You may find yourself feeling invalidated or dismissed when sharing your own struggles, or pressured to maintain a false sense of positivity. To navigate your relationship with a spiritual bypasser, it's important to model healthy emotional expression and vulnerability. Share your own experiences of facing and overcoming challenges, and encourage them to explore the full spectrum of human emotions as a path to genuine growth and healing. Remind the spiritual bypasser that spirituality is not about escaping the human experience, but rather about learning to embrace and transform it. By integrating our shadows and wounds, we can access deeper levels of compassion, resilience, and connection to the divine. Ultimately, the spiritual bypasser's journey is their own, and it's not your responsibility to force them to confront their avoidance. However, by staying true to your own authentic path and modeling healthy emotional processing, you can inspire them to explore the more challenging aspects of their own growth and healing. Surrounding yourself with supportive, authentic individuals is crucial for your spiritual growth and well-being. By being mindful of the types of toxic influences we've discussed in this video, you can take steps to protect your energy, set healthy boundaries, and create space for more positive, uplifting connections. Remember, your spiritual path is unique to you, and it's essential to trust your own intuition and discernment when navigating relationships and interactions. Don't be afraid to let go of people or situations that consistently drain you or hold you back, even if it's difficult or uncomfortable in the short term. At the same time, approach these challenges with compassion and understanding, recognizing that everyone is on their own journey of growth and healing. While we cannot control or change others, we can choose to focus on our own spiritual evolution and lead by example. By cultivating a strong inner foundation of self-awareness, self-love, and connection to the divine, you'll be better equipped to weather any storms or challenges that come your way. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, support you, and challenge you to grow in positive ways. Remember, your spiritual journey is not a destination, but a lifelong process of unfolding and discovery. Trust the path, trust yourself, and know that you have the strength and wisdom to overcome any obstacle and toxic influence that comes your way,